Good afternoon, my wonderful Law 30 students. This is your more than wonderful law teacher, Mr. May, on a Wednesday afternoon here, just rambling on about a few things. I just need to remind you that the exam is coming up here on March the 23rd, so I thought I'd cover a few things before that happens. We have looked at an assignment dealing with Aboriginal justice, looking at the treaties and their importance in law, and the obligations of the federal government in that respect when it comes to treaty rights and so on. I asked you to look at the idea of justice, looking at justice from the traditional Aboriginal view, one of perhaps healing, sentencing circles and so on, as opposed to English common law, which is you must pay for your crime in terms of judgments in the courts. So it's a little different view. Then I asked you to take a look at the Charter of Rights, and certainly a very important document for us. It's 1982, so that would make it 34 years. It's been around. The Supreme Court has been making their rulings on that particular charter. It, of course, guarantees our rights as Canadians, rights of freedom of movement, freedom of speech, although freedom of speech is not absolute. Language rights and citizenship rights and so on. So make sure that if you haven't done that assignment, take a close look at it. Then I asked you to do the Charter of Rights test, which is a 12 scenarios, actual court decisions that have been made by the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission along with the Supreme Court of Canada. And I'm asking you to take a look at those scenarios and see if a law has been broken, and if it has, then put yes and then give your explanation for it. And if you don't feel a law has been broken, put no and give your explanation for it. Okay, so make sure you do that. Oh, incidentally, in our system, when it comes to the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission, most of the cases now do not go into the courts. They go through mediation. In other words, the two sides sit down along with a judge or a mediator and hammer out their differences. Okay, then the last assignment there that I'm asking you to take a look at is the one on differences between Canadian and American courts. For instance, I know a lot of you watch the American television programs, Law and Order and CSI and so on. Those courts have nothing to do with what a Canadian courtroom looks like. You'll notice perhaps a judge on those American shows will get his or her gavel out and start hammering and trying to get control of the court. That does not happen in our courts. The justices do not have a gavel. They simply use the rule of law to create control in their courtroom. If you go into a Queen's Court, you will address the justice as my lord or my lady in that court. So there are many differences, and take a look at them. All right, so that brings me back again to the test that we're going to take a look at. I put the format up there for you, which will be on the 23rd of March, Wednesday, I think it is next week. You are only eligible to write it if you have your assignments completed, okay, in the first unit. Some people already have, and I'm going to post up a couple of assignments for the second unit here, which is criminal law, which everybody likes. And I'll perhaps post those, start posting them tomorrow. Okay, that's enough for me. So as they say, we'll see you online.